Spencer and Gordon's race. It had been a very busy spring day on the island of Sodor. All of Sir Topham Hatt's engines, as well as Mr. Percival's engines, were working really hard, delivering all their goods and passengers on time. However, since it had been the hot spring time on the island of Sodor, there were more vacationers than usual. James's coaches, as well as Gordon's and the other engines, were filled to bits with happy holidaymakers. But this didn't stop James as he was making his way to Wellsworth Station. He didn't want to be late. However, due to all the spring work on the island, Sir Topham Hatt brought over Spencer from the mainland to help out. Spencer was very pleased about this. "Aw," Spencer boasted, "it feels so good being back on Sodor. I'm gonna show Gordon what I'm made of," Spencer said. "Come on, Spencer, we don't want to be late," said his driver, as Spencer thundered down the line to Knapford Station. That was when, at Knapford Station, Gordon was waiting patiently for his passengers to board. "Come in quickly, please," Gordon said. But then, Gordon heard a familiar whistle. A whistle that he knew too well. It was Spencer, coming in with the Duke and Duchess of Boxford. "Spencer, what are you doing here?" Gordon said to Spencer. "Oh, Gordon, Sir Topham Hatt says I'm here to help you out with all the extra passengers. And besides, the Duke and Duchess thought it was a great idea. That's why I'm here," Spencer said pompously to Gordon. Gordon groaned. "Oh, the indignity," Gordon said. That's when the Duke stepped outside of the coach. He was very impressed with Spencer. "Ah, Spencer, that was a very marvelous ride indeed. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and see Sir Topham Hatt," said the Duke. "Indeed," added the Duchess. "It's really important." "You wouldn't understand," she said, as the two stepped in Sir Topham Hatt's office. Spencer was feeling very pleased with himself. "You know, Gordon, I think I'm much faster than you," Spencer boasted. "Oh, really?" Gordon said. "Then why don't we prove it then?" Gordon said. Spencer just rolled his eyes at Gordon. Just then, Gordon and Spencer heard a familiar horn. It was Mavis. She was making her way to the quarry to collect some trucks. She had overheard about Spencer trying to prove that he's better than Gordon. "Well, it is nice to see you two," she said. "I don't think racing is such a good idea. Just think, you two might get yourself into an accident," Mavis said to Spencer and Gordon. Gordon kind of agreed with Mavis, but Spencer didn't. "Oh, Mavis, you won't understand. I'm one of the fastest engines here on the island," Spencer boasted. "Well, you won't understand, Spencer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and collect my trucks," Mavis said, as Mavis puffed on her way to the quarry to collect her trucks full of stone. Soon, that's when all the passengers for Gordon's Express had finished boarding. That's when the guard blew his whistle for Gordon to go. "Well, it was nice seeing you, Spencer, but I still think I'm better than you, in terms of our speed records." "Come on, Gordon, we don't want to be late," said his driver. And that's when Gordon thundered off with the express. Gordon was making good time on his way to Tidmouth Station to drop off his passengers, but he still couldn't stop thinking about what Spencer had told him. "That silver show-off thinks he's better than me. I'll show him. I'll prove it to him tomorrow if he wants to race," Gordon said, as Gordon made his way to Tidmouth Station. That's when Gordon had to come to a stop. His signal was red. "Oh, I'm going to be late," Gordon said crossly. Just then, Spencer puffed in. He was taking the Duke and Duchess back to their summer house. "Oh, hello, Gordon. We meet again," said Spencer. "Ugh, What do you want again, Spencer? Do you still think you're better than me? After all, I'm the premier express engine, Gordon said to Spencer. Now, Gordon, I have an idea of how we can solve this, said Spencer to Gordon. Gordon listened. All right, Spencer. How should we settle this then? Gordon said to Spencer. Well, Gordon, I think tomorrow we should do a race at dawn. Which engine pulls our trains faster than the other wins. Okay then, said Gordon. Where should the winner be placed at? We will have our race from Knapford all the way to Vickerstown, said Spencer to Gordon. Their drivers and firemen discussed about the race, and they soon agreed. All right then, Spencer, you're on, and I'm going to win first thing tomorrow. Oh, we'll see about that, Gordon. I'm sure I'm going to win. That's when Gordon's signal changed to green. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Spencer, Gordon said, as Gordon puffed off with the express. After a long and hard day's work, after seeing Spencer as well, Gordon came into Tidmouth's sheds feeling very tired. Whew, what a busy day with the express indeed, said Gordon. Says you, said James. I had to help out with a lot of passengers on my own today, James said. That's when Sir Topham Hatt came to see his engines. He had very important news for Gordon. Gordon, I heard of how well you managed the express today, but tomorrow, since there's going to be more visitors than usual, you're going to be taking passengers from Knapford all the way to Vickerstown. And also, there are some stops in between that you'll need to take them. All right, Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt. Yes, sir, said Gordon. After Sir Topham Hatt had gone, Gordon brought up the race between him and Spencer to the other engines. Some of the engines were shocked, and others, just like Mavis, thought it was a really bad idea. Gordon, you do realize that racing from Knapford to Vickerstown is a bad idea, right? You have to drop off your passengers at the right stops, said Edward. Yeah, added Percy. It's just like how it is with me and the mail train, said Percy and Edward to Gordon. James also spoke up. Yeah, Gordon, I don't think racing with Spencer is such a good idea from Knapford all the way to Vickerstown. You have to drop off your passengers as well to the right stops. And who knows, you may end up in a very nasty accident or something, said James to Gordon. Gordon laughed. Oh, you three, I'm sure I'll be fine, Gordon said to Edward, Percy, and James. Emily was also concerned for Gordon. Gordon, you do realize that racing is a bad idea, right? Just think about what could have happened to Thomas and James a long time ago when Great Waterton was found. They could have gotten themselves into an accident too. But Gordon, racing is just not a good idea. I don't think you should do it with Spencer, she said to Gordon. Oh, you guys, I will be fine, Gordon said. Besides, I'll show Spencer that I'm better than him, Gordon said. And so, with that, one by one, all the engines fell happily to sleep. That's when, early the next morning in the cold light of dawn, Gordon was ready to race with Spencer. He was coupled up to his coaches as he waited for his passengers to board, when he heard a familiar whistle. It was Spencer. He was feeling even more pompous than usual. You know, Gordon, you're going to lose this race, Spencer said to Gordon. Oh, you want to bet on that, Spencer? I'm faster than you, and I'm going to win this race, and you'll just stand there just watching me win, Gordon said to Spencer. Suit yourself, then, Spencer said to Gordon. Before the race started, Edward puffed in. He was making his way to the coachyard to help take passengers on his branch line. He was very concerned for Gordon. Gordon, like Emily and I said last night, racing isn't such a good idea. And besides, you may end up in a nasty accident or something, Edward said to Gordon. Gordon scoffed at Edward. Oh, Edward, you worry too much. Besides, I'm going to win against Spencer, Gordon said to Edward. Oh, don't listen to him, Edward. I'm going to win, said Spencer pompously to Edward. Edward laughed only a little bit. Well, Edward and Gordon, racing is just not a good idea. Besides, you two may get yourselves into a nasty accident or something. Well, I can't stay here and chat all day. I have to go and collect my passengers on my branch line. Best of luck, though, with the race, Edward said, as he puffed away. After Edward had gone to go and collect his passengers to take on his branch line, Spencer and Gordon still eyed down one another. You're going to lose this race, Gordon, said Spencer. Oh, we'll see about that, said Gordon pompously to Spencer. That's when Gordon's passengers, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Boxford, boarded into Spencer's coach. That's when Spencer's driver stepped out. Okay, you two are going to be racing from Knapford Station, here, all the way to Vickerstown Station. On your mark. That's when Spencer and Gordon eyed down one another. Get set. Go! As Gordon and Spencer thundered quickly out. After Spencer and Gordon left Knapford Station, the two engines were going very fast down the main line. Ha ha, Spencer, I'm winning. You can't catch me, Gordon said. Oh, that's not fair, Spencer said. I'm one of the fastest engines here. I'm gonna get you and win, said Spencer, as the two engines thundered quickly down the main line. Then there was trouble. On Spencer's line, his signal was green, but on Gordon's line, his signal was red. Oh no, Gordon said, as he applied his brakes. When Mavis was on her way to the quarry. Oh, my fenders, she said. Luckily, the signalman changed the points, just in time. Mavis was cross. Gordon, watch where you're going. You could have caused an accident with me on the main line, she said to Gordon. Oops, sorry, Mavis. I didn't mean to, said Gordon, as Gordon and Spencer kept on going no matter what. That's when Gordon and Spencer were thundering fast down the main line. I'm winning, said Gordon. No, I am, said Spencer. But the passengers inside their coaches were very cross. They passed so many stations, not even letting off their passengers. The passengers on board, as well as the Duke and Duchess, were very cross. That is when, at a record speed, Gordon and Spencer both made it to Vickerstown Station. I won, said Gordon. I won. No, I won, said Spencer. That's when the two engines began to bicker back and forth over who had won. That's when the Duke and Duchess of Boxford, as well as Gordon's passengers, stepped outside of their coaches. They were very cross. You missed my stop, said a passenger. And you missed my stop at Tidmouth Station, said another. What a bad railway this is, said another passenger. The Duke and Duchess were very cross with Spencer. Spencer, you started this race, didn't you? Said the Duke. We were supposed to be dropped off at our summer house, but you didn't do that. Yes, added the Duchess. You missed our stop at our summer house, said the Duchess crossly. Everybody was still arguing with one another when James came in with Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt was very cross.
Gordon and Spencer, what is the meaning of this? You both have caused confusion and delay. Gordon, you nearly crashed into Mavis as she was making her way to the quarry. And Spencer, I overheard that you two were going fast along the main line. What is going on? Sir Topham Hatt scolded severely to Spencer and Gordon. The two engines sighed and looked at their buffers. We're sorry, sir, said Gordon.
But Spencer took a huge puff and spoke first. Sir, it's my fault, said Spencer. Spencer, I understand that you're here to help out with all the extra passengers and freight, of course. But why did you do this? Sir Topham Hatt said. Spencer took a huge puff again. Well, you see, sir, yesterday, when I came into Nafford Station, I said to Gordon that I'm better than him. So I challenged him to a race. And the race was that if we start at Nafford and all the way to Vickerstown, one of us would be proven the fastest. And I was a little too puffed up in my smoke box. I'm very sorry, sir. And I'm very sorry, the Duke and Duchess, Spencer said to Sir Topham Hatt and the Duke and Duchess of Boxford. Sir Topham Hatt and the Duke were very cross. Spencer, you have caused serious confusion and delay, said Sir Topham Hatt. Indeed, added the Duke. You made us miss our summer house, Spencer. I thought you knew that. We let you know last night, but you did this race and made us very late, said the Duke. Now, you two, you have to take your passengers to their correct stations at once. And as for you, Spencer, you need to take the Duke and Duchess to their summer house right away. Sir Topham Hatt scolded severely to Spencer and Gordon. The two engines sighed. Yes, sir, they said, as Gordon and Spencer puffed on their way to take their passengers and the Duke and Duchess to their right stops. That's when, at the end of the day, Gordon was making his way back to Tidmouth after he and Spencer dropped off their passengers, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Boxford, to their right stops. Feels so good to make our way back to Tidmouth, Gordon said, when Gordon heard a familiar whistle. It was Spencer. He was on his way back to the summer house. Oh, hey again, Spencer, Gordon said to Spencer. Hey, Gordon, Spencer said. Spencer took a huge puff. Gordon, I'm really sorry about that race earlier. I was a little too puffed up in my smoke box when I came to see you again. Is there any way we could put this behind us and just be friends? Said Spencer to Gordon. Gordon smiled at Spencer. Oh, of course, Spencer. But next time, don't get too puffed up in your smoke box like that. Although, I do have to admit, that race was a little bit fun, Gordon said. Agreed on that, said Spencer. And that's when, in the end, Spencer and Gordon remained good friends indeed.